Floating inside your mom's belly, already nearly 3 feet long with the most ridiculous facial feature evolution could dream up, a saw for a nose. Which raises the obvious question, how exactly are you supposed to exit your mother without slashing her inside? This seems like a critical design flaw. Did evolution just not think this through? Is your mom going to survive this? Something's gotta give here, and you're really hoping it's not your mother's internal organs. Well, nature has an answer, and it's surprisingly elegant for something that's otherwise seems like a biological mishap. Each of your saw's teeth is covered in a protective sheath, essentially a soft, flexible casing that transforms your built-in weapon into something closer to a rubber spatula. Birth happens quickly, and you're unceremoniously deposited in a shallow, murky ocean. Your mother, apparently not interested in seeing how this biological experiment turns out, immediately swims away. No goodbye, just another day in the wonderful world of fish parenting. As you lie there, slightly stunned by your sudden existence, you give your body a good shake, trying to get oriented into this new world. That's when those protective sheaths start falling off your teeth, one by one. The water around you fills with tiny translucent covers as your weapon is revealed. Congratulations, you're now a 3-foot baby with fully operational weapon that you have absolutely no idea how to use. The water above you darkens suddenly. A massive shadow passes overhead. A bull shark cruising by, at least 5 times your size. Your heart races, but it doesn't seem to notice you against the murky bottom. Still, every instinct tells you to flee. You dart forward, eyes fixed behind you on the threat, not looking where you're going. Thwack! Your saw slams straight into a rock. The impact sends vibrations through your entire body, rattling your tiny brain. It's like hitting your funny bone, except the funny bone is 3 feet long and covered in teeth. As you shake off the dizziness, you realize something important. This bizarre appendage isn't just for show, and you'd better figure out how to use it before you give yourself a concussion. Now that the danger is past, you pull out your survival checklist. You decide to focus on 2 urgent ones right away. Figuring out what the heck this face saw is actually supposed to do, since right now it's more liability than asset, and finding something to eat before your stomach implodes. You tie a bandana around your forehead and prepare for mission Don't Die on Day 1. As you drift over the sandy bottom, your saw hovers close to the seafloor. Suddenly, you feel a strange tingling sensation through it, like a sixth sense activating. There's something alive under the sand. Not something you can see, but something your saw is detecting? You're picking up the faintest electrical signals from a creature's beating heart and moving muscles through specialized sensors in your saw. Purely on instinct, you give your head a sideways flick. The saw slices through the sand, and a small fish shoots out in panic. Another swing, more controlled this time, and you've stunned it. As you gulp down your first meal, you mentally check off task 1 on your list. So that's what this thing is for. It's not just a weapon, it's a built-in metal detector for finding hidden prey. With your stomach no longer staging a revolt, you check off the second task too. 2 down, but there's still the matter of making it through your first night without becoming someone else's dinner. The sun begins to set, casting long shadows through the murky water. You spot a group of other juvenile sawfish heading in a particular direction. Safety in numbers seems like a smart move, so you try to follow them, but they're faster and soon disappear from view. Still, they must have been going somewhere safe, right? You continue in the same direction, determined to find shelter. What you don't realize is that you're swimming toward increasingly shallow water, approaching the shore of a small island. The fading light makes it hard to judge depth, but there's plenty of food here. Your saw detects worms and small crustaceans buried in the sand. You dig in, literally, using your saw to unearth a feast of wriggling treats. You're so focused on your meal that you don't notice the dark shadow forming above. When you finally look up, it's almost too late. A large seabird is diving straight toward you. The bird's beak misses you by inches, stabbing into the sand beside you with a force that would have skewered you like an appetizer. But it's not giving up. It takes to the air again, circling for another attack. You dart forward only to realize you're heading into even shallower water. Your back breaks the surface, making you even more visible from above. The bird dives again. You dodge left, another near miss. In a moment of desperation, you turn and dart toward deeper water, away from the shore. The bird follows, making one final dive. You feel the rush of air as its beak barely misses your tail. Then, blessed darkness envelops you as you plunge into the depths beyond the shallows. You rest in the deeper channel's reach, gills pumping rapidly as you try to process how close you came to becoming bird food. Lesson learned, shallow water at dusk is a death trap for baby sawfish. For the next few months, you stick to safer, deeper waters, developing a healthy respect for the dangers above and below. Your days fall into a simple pattern: hunt, eat, hide, repeat, and grow. Boy, do you grow. By the time you're 6 months old, you've doubled in size to about 3 feet long, roughly the height of an average human kid. You're still nowhere near full size, but at least you're no longer on every predator's easy snack list. Well, not every predator. There's just one problem with your growth spurt. Your saw is developing faster than your coordination. It now accounts for nearly 25% of your total length, making tight turns feel like you're driving a bus. You pull out your survival checklist, eyeing the next challenges. 2 predators are drawn on it. One's a stingray, the other looks like a small shark. You mentally circle the stingray first. Time to level up your hunting game beyond just snagging worms and tiny fish. You cruise along the sandy bottom, your electroreceptors tingling as they pick up faint signals. There, something flat and partially buried. A stingray. It's almost completely concealed beneath the sand, but to your specialized sensors, it might as well be flashing a neon sign. You approach cautiously, remembering that these creatures have their own defensive weapon, a venomous barb on their tail. The technique here needs to be different. You position yourself carefully above the hidden ray, then swing your saw in a controlled side-to-side motion, like nature's version of a metal detector. The ray senses danger too late. As it tries to dart away, you bring your saw down, pinning it to the seafloor. A few more precise slashes and the meal is yours. Not bad. You've graduated from snacks to proper meals. You check off the stingray from your list. Progress. Next target, the small reef shark. This is going to be considerably more challenging. They're faster, more alert, and definitely not half buried in sand. You're going to need strategy, not just brute force. After a few days of searching, you spot your target, a small reef shark about your size, hunting in the same area. You won't be eating this one whole, but you need to practice handling larger, more dangerous prey. You stalk it carefully, staying low against the seafloor where your mottled coloration helps you blend in. The shark is focused on a school of fish, giving you the opportunity to approach from below. Just as you're about to strike, a massive shadow blots out the light from above. You freeze, instinctively pressing yourself against the sand. The reef shark runs away, apparently sensing the same danger. You're drifting lazily with the current one morning when a small stingray passes just overhead. You're not particularly hungry, but there's nothing like a little hunt to break up the monotony of the day. You begin following it, accelerating upward with powerful strokes of your tail. The ray senses danger and darts forward, leading you on a spirited chase. So focused are you on your prey that you don't notice the strange patterns of shadows above until it's too late. Suddenly, both you and the stingray hit something invisible but unyielding. You twist and turn, trying to break free, but the more you struggle, the more entangled you become. It's a fishing net, something your instincts never prepared you for. Panic sets in as you feel the net tightening, being pulled upward toward the surface. The stingray is trapped beside you, equally helpless. The water around you grows brighter as you're lifted toward the surface, and for the first time in your life, you break through into open air. The sensation is disorienting. Gravity pulling at your massive body, your gills gasping uselessly. You're dropped onto a hard, flat surface surrounded by strange bipedal creatures making loud noises. Humans. You've heard rumors about these predators from other fish, but you never thought you'd encounter them firsthand. As they approach to extract you from the net, survival instinct takes over. You thrash wildly, swinging your saw in desperate arcs. The humans jump back, shouting. One particularly brave, or foolish one, grabs your saw with his gloved hands. You feel a sharp twist, then a sickening crack.